chicken bone? Oh, God. Oh! Hi, everyone.
Hi everyone, this is Andrew at the Wyoming Dinosaur Center, and this is Fossil Friday. I got tasked with cleaning out the staff fridge, and we all know what a fun task that can be. So, well, finding a lot of interesting stuff in here today. Old Tupperware, found I think it's a chicken bone and vinegar, and we'll see what else we've got in here. You know, food storage has been something that lots of animals practice. I mean, we as humans came up with the wonderful invention of refrigeration to keep things cool. It keeps food longer. But we have evidence that our prehistoric friends did the same thing, which is actually a good topic for today's Fossil Friday. So follow me this way. So we are the Wyoming Dinosaur Center, but as you've probably seen with a lot of our other wonderful Fossil Fridays, I do say so myself, we have a number of really unique fossils from before the dinosaurs and after the dinosaurs as well, which brings me to this magnificent find right here. So what we have here are at least 5 partially articulated skeletons from the animal Poebetherium. It's a type of prehistoric camel. So I brought my laser pointer today to make this a little easier to see. So you can see that's the skull of one right here. It's another skull, another one there, another one on the edge. So there's quite a lot of critters preserved in this one block, but there's something interesting about them. So you'll notice, if you get closer, that they're all pretty well put together. The heads are attached to the necks, which are attached to the backs and the front legs. But what's really interesting is that there isn't a single complete butt in this entire block. None of these camels have a complete butt, and of course that means the backside, the butt of course, and the legs. They're all missing. Well, that's kind of an interesting conundrum, especially since the skeletons are really well preserved and complete. We really didn't know what to think of that until we noticed that one of these skulls, this one right here, has a very deep puncture wound right there. So that big hole is not the result of fossilization. We can study that and see the grooves on there. That's actually the result of a bite. And there's only one animal living in this ecosystem around 35 to 40 million years ago who could deliver a bite that powerful. And that's the guy who was lurking in the fridge. This is Archaeotherium, an entelodont. Picture a German shepherd-sized creature, maybe a small pony-sized creature, with this set of chompers. You get an idea of what the entelodonts were like. Kind of looked like a really evil pig, if you will. So Archaeotherium was one of the most common big meat-eating animals during this time. And it's, again, the only one with chompers large enough to leave a hole like that. Now, that leads to a pretty logical assumption, is that the Archaeotherium actually killed these camels. And it's not just that puncture wound. Once we knew what we were looking for, looking at that puncture wound, we saw a number of bite marks riddled across these skeletons. So that tells us that the Archaeotherium most likely killed these camels. Predator-prey relationships. That's cool enough. But then that began to answer the other question we had. Why are the butts missing? The mystery of the missing camel butts. Well, take a look at your lower half, or better yet, take a look at mine. So when you've got your upper half, you've got lots of bones, ribs here, arm bones, vertebrae, all this stuff. Lots of bone, not a lot of meat. Now, I'm really thin, so there's not a lot of meat on me in general, but for everybody, it's pretty much the case. There's not a lot of meat here for all of the work. But when you look at your lower half of your body, thigh muscles, shin muscles, your butt, of course, there's no bone at all in your butt, and not a lot of bone in your legs. Very strong bones, but not a lot of them. So that would make this part of the body very attractive for a meat eater to eat. So that's what happened here. The Archaeotherium killed these camels and ate the butts. I know it sounds like starting at the wrong end of the ice cream cone, but that's where the most meat is. But then it had its fill, and it deposited the rest of the carcasses in a spot where it could get to them later. So what we have here, in a very real sense, is a prehistoric refrigerator. This is a food cache, scientific term, for when the Archaeotherium encountered periods where there wasn't a lot of meat, it had a go-to place where it could find more food. But you know, it's kind of like the staff refrigerator here. Eventually, it probably just forgot about its food, or the food got buried and started to rot away. But instead of rotting away entirely, it fossilized, kind of like some of the contents of my fridge back home, but that's another story. So, pretty remarkable find here that changed a lot of ideas of how we think about animals. See, sometimes the best way to interpret the prehistoric world is looking at the modern world. And we see animals that are alive today, like, coyotes do this, jackals as well, that have food caches very similar to this. So our modern friends give us an idea of what our prehistoric friends would have been doing. So a truly remarkable fossil find here at the Wyoming Dinosaur Center. So hopefully you'll be able to notice this and get a new perspective on the mystery of the missing camel butts. So I think that'll wrap it up for today. So like this video, share it, give us a comment, let us know what you think. We'll be back here next week with another edition. So until then, this is Andrew at the Wyoming Dinosaur Center keeping your Friday fossiliferous. Better get back to that fridge.